Conor Gallagher, the man that made me love Chelsea. Okay. This man today was absolutely putting in some crazy challenges. Okay. Man's like Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher. You've played for the club before. Okay. What are you doing with some of those insane challenges? Okay. I understand we're your biggest rivals. I get it. Okay. I understand. But mate, you've played for Chelsea FC before. I've got your jersey. You're the man that made me love Chelsea. And Mans is out here doing the whole lot. Okay. Anyway, Chelsea 1, Spursy 2. Did you hear me correctly? Chelsea 1, Spursy 2. We have lost to Tottenham with 10 men. Okay. 10 men. Tottenham have just beat Xabi Alonso, Chelsea FC. Only 2 games in Chelsea. Xabi Alonso, Chelsea FC. It's not good. Okay, I understand it's a preseason friendly, so it's not the end of the world. But it's Tottenham FC. Tottenham Football Club have just beaten us 2-1. Let me shut my mouth. Okay. This game was scrappy from the start. We knew it was going to be crazy. Again, it's Tottenham. But obviously, again, we are Chelsea FC. We want to be winning that game. It's a big deal. But is it though? Because at the end of the day, it's a preseason friendly. It makes no difference on the season. We know that. We're still getting in a ton of youth players. We are still doing our best to give some of these young players a chance. We brought them all in the 80th minute. It was the lap tossing in the C team again. We had, 4 players under the age of 17 playing. But we lost our focus there at the end. We know that. We had some mistakes. Tosin with some mistakes. But, again, if they're going to beat us, at least they beat us in preseason. I want to talk about the team that started. Charman Lowe. Okay. He had one good save against Tell. But even Tell, he just kicked it right at him. Lowe, is he going to be a third-choice goalkeeper for Chelsea this season? I could see it. I think he could be. Is he from the academy? Sherman Lowe? No, he's 23. Okay. No, he was in Chelsea's academy. Then played it around at some other teams, and now he's back. Whatever. He's got a 1.3 million transfer value. Me personally, I am okay if he sits at a third-choice goalkeeper. Nothing more than that. I think we know that Mike Pendez and Sanchez actually has a knock, and I think that's why he hasn't been playing. But we know that them two are going to compete for the number 1 spot, and one of them is going to be a backup. So it's as simple as that. Haddo on the left, I'm glad he started. It's who I wanted to start. It's who I predicted. I think then I predicted Fofana and Sarr playing center back, but we saw Cowell again 2 games in a row. Did he start last game? I believe he did. And Fofana, they played both to the 80th minute. So did Palestra. Palestra, glad he played on the right side. We'll talk about him more later. I think he is a player who could be absolutely brilliant for us. Lavia started. Good for him. Because we thought he had that hamstring thing, which he did. That's why he probably only played 45 minutes. So, once again, still not another 90 minutes, which makes sense since he was injured. Asugo playing again to the 80th minute. Good for him. It's good to see him playing that much. Esteval, our goal scorer with the header. Also good to see him playing. Him and Palmer. It seems like both of them are going to be recovered from that injury thing that they had going on last season, because we're told Esteval wasn't going to play until later in the season, but we're already seeing it. Not later in the season, like later in August, and we're already seeing him. So he's gotten over his injury really quickly. Gittins It's an assist-ish. I don't know if it technically counted on FootMob. It looks like it didn't, but it doesn't matter anyway. It's preseason, but that's 4 games, 4 assists for Gittins. Morgan Rogers, maybe he's got something to look out for. Probably not. It's going to suck for Gittins when Morgan Rogers comes into this team and takes his position from day one. But maybe Gittins can be a good backup. But now with Misha coming in too, bro. Gittins, you've played good, but make room for Misha. My GOAT, the best player in the world. Misha, welcome back. Sorry, Jamie Gittins. No, Mikhailo Mudryk needs to be sitting on loan, but we're not talking about him right now. Joao Pedro, good game. You know, even when he doesn't do much, he's still just world class. Him and Palmer. Palmer had a brilliant pass to, I think, Esteval or Gittins at some point in the game. So, it's a strong starting 11. Besides Lowe, I think that's the only thing that was a bit shocking. But since Sanchez has a little bit of an injury, Mike Penez isn't here yet, it makes sense. So now, we'll talk about the game a little bit. We'll go through it really quick. We obviously know this game did not seem like a friendly since the start. Then around the 17th minute, Tottenham took the lead. Tonali found the back of the net to put them up. It was off a deflection on Cowell. You know, lucky goal, whatever, we move on. Then, Esteval levels it with the cross from Jamie Gittins on to Esteval's head. It looked like the keeper almost saved it, but no matter what, Esteval should have been scoring that anyway. He was from point-blank range, so I'm glad he did. Again, another assist for Gittins. That was also kind of a lucky goal since it hit off of that dude's head, but we'll take it. Romeo Lavia, you know, had a good start to the move, took it, intercepted it, great defense, played it out wide to Gittins. Gittins did a little bit of his thing out there. Esteval was in the right position. Brilliant. And yeah, Jamie Gittins has been very well under Xavi Alonso so far, so I hope he can keep it up. Then Joao Pedro came close. He had that chance around like the 30-ish, 40-ish minute where he was kind of one-on-one after a Spurs mistake. They had about 1 million mistakes. Where he goes through, it's kind of half chance. He's kind of getting like body in the box. You know, will never be a penalty. But he came close there. Then Sharman Lone had that good save against Tell. Spoke about that a little bit. Then you come on into the second half, and Danso got the red card after he was subbed on at halftime. Mate, absolutely embarrassing. Not good for you. Not a good sign for you in preseason. We move on from him. At that point, it's a red card. We should have taken the game, which we kind of did. You know, let me look at the stats real quick here. What was the total shots and stuff for each team? Where is this? I can't look because it's preseason. Whatever. But Kinski, man, I don't know why he decided to have the game of his life. He had like 3 insane saves and one against Esteval. That was absolutely unreal off of deflections. But we should have been like 2 or 3 goals ahead at that point. The next thing you know, 80th minute, we take off like 90% of our players. And then we have Tosin, Delap, and the Goonies come on. And that was kind of the downfall there. I feel like I knew it was coming. Either way, if we went to stupid penalties with them, we would have lost because we would have had 16-year-olds taking penalties. But Tottenham hit the post, falls right to Richarlison. Pretty lucky goal, but Tosin, mate, what is that defending? Like, mate, what are you doing? You got to defend better. So now, first time I am doing this, we will get into the transfer values, the stock rises of some of these players. Palestra, I'm giving him green. You know, I think his transfer value went up after this game. That's the whole point of doing this. Palestra, I think he was amazing. You know, nothing too crazy. He did get done by Andy Robertson, which was charmingly hilarious. TBH 2026 Andy Robertson, which was so weird seeing him play for Tottenham. Did kind of do Palestra in there, but I think he was great. I think he will be great when players like Reece James are out, which we know Reece James will be out every once in a while because when is he not? But he's bright down that right side, you know, Serie A Defender of the Year, fastest player in the Serie A, I think, and you can tell he is pretty damn fast. So it didn't do anything crazy, but I just wanted to talk to him, speak on him. I think he can be great for the future. Esteval with the other green box, the one and only other green box. I don't want to be too negative because it's preseason, but I'm going to be negative. Okay? Esteval Greenbach scored. He also had like 3 other chances he should have scored, but Kinski also had the greatest game of his life. Why couldn't Kinski just show up how he did against Atletico Madrid? Kinski, mate. Esteval could have had a hat trick like João Pedro, but I think Esteval did well. I think he was in the right spots. Scored the goal. We move on. I'm giving a red to all the subs that came on in the 80th minute. My lord, excuse me. Look, once we made all those subs, I think we knew it was going to happen. Brought on Delap, Chimpong for Cowell. That's a D grade. Kellerman for Palmer. Walsh for Suga. Watson for Palestra. Sorry for Fofana and Tosin for Gens. Oh my god, excuse me. But it didn't matter. I mean, at the end of the day, it's preseason. It doesn't really matter. But you knew once those subs come on, it's pretty much guaranteed that that's going to happen. Lost our focus, and that is why in the next red, I'm giving it to Tosin and Delap in the same grouping. Delap, sorry, you're just getting thrown in there because it's Delap, Tosin, and the Goonies. Tosin, that was who I want to mainly speak about here. That defending for their goal, man. Like, I just don't understand what you're doing. If Xabi Alonso only wants to keep 5 of these defenders, center backs in the squad, it is time to get rid of Tosin. He is not needed anymore. Let's just be done with him. Okay, at this point, if you sell him, you'd make money since we got him for free, 2 seasons ago, maybe 3? But whatever. And finally, a red box. I'm giving it to a lack of focus at the end of the game. I'm sorry if you can hear my dog barking. My lord, he is annoying. But a lack of focus at the end. Again, it's okay. We had a bunch of 16-year-olds on the field, so it's not the end of the world. But Palestra, Esteval Greens, the substitute thing that happened, it's okay. You have to make the subs because it's preseason. Delap, Tosin, you got to defend better. And then, the lack of focus, as in Tosin, at the end. But to wrap things up, Chelsea FC fans, we're going to talk about the next game, okay? I think it's Juventus, 7:30 a.m. for me, August 5th, Wednesday. That'll be another challenge, It'll be interesting to see what kind of lineup we play, if Charmin Loan's going to keep playing. So we'll kind of have to see. Tosin, my lord. Juventus won 2-0 in their last game. Let's see how else they've done this preseason. Looks like they have a couple wins, couple draws. That's about it. So, look, if you guys have made it this far, at the end of the day, it's a loss. But, again, it really doesn't matter. It's preseason. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.